Hey y'all, I'm back with another book haul, and so this time I went completely historical. So I have been trying to branch out of my little thing that I'm stuck in the Jazz Age, or the 1930s. So I got this one. It is about the War of 1812. So I was super curious because it's like the war that forged the nation, and I'm just like, it's actually little spoken about war because it was just in America and versus American Revolution, which everybody's like, oh, the American Revolution, that's how we got our freedom. And then the Civil War, the war that tore apart the nation. And I'm just like, okay, alright, I know a lot about those, but I don't know a lot about the War of 1812. And I just wanted to know what was the War of 1812 even about? Because I honestly have no idea. So I just decided it was like, you know what, it's time that I start expanding and start learning about history. And so I decided to get that. So the next one I got was The Easy Guide to the U.S. Constitution, because let's face it, how many of us have actually read the Constitution and understand everything that it said? I cannot raise my hand. I've read the Constitution, but I don't understand it. Like, it's, even though I've read, like, Shakespeare and the Bible and all these other books that have super complicated language, it's not, like, super ingrained in my head, even though I'm an American citizen, about the Constitution, which I think, I'm totally being a naive American. And I was like, you know what? Forget that, I'm going to stop being a naive American. It's super small. It should be a super quick read. But, it'll give me a better understanding of what our Constitution's about and why do we have it? Why do we have a Constitution? Why did we base our entire government on this Constitution? And so I just wanted to become a more informed citizen. The next one I have is totally me being a dork. It is basically written for a child, says the complete middle school study guide for everything you need to know about American history, that you can fit in a big fat notebook. But I'm just like, that should be fun, because I'm such a child sometimes, I can't help it. I'm just like, oh, look at this, look at the bright colors, the color coordinated stuff, ooh, I'm just like, I'm such a dork. I'm like, I can't resist, like, such a colorful and a book all about history. Maybe it'll actually help me to learn more about all of American history rather than just my favorite eras. So this is totally like, for if you're becoming a citizen of America, and I'm like, there's stuff on there that I'm like, I for sure don't know. Like, oh, I probably know that one actually. But, oh, I know that one actually. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? Can you answer that? Because I can't answer that. I want to say World War II, but I'm just like, that doesn't seem right either. And then, I'm just like, there's just stuff I don't know, and I'm like, everybody else has to know this if they have to come in the country. Why don't I know this? I should learn and be educated. So here is my second book that I got because it was super cute and I couldn't resist. Is The Complete Middle School Guide. Study guide. So children's book again. Everything you need to know about world history, but none that can fit in a big fat notebook. And look, it's prettily colored with big font. Oh, I can speak English, but I'm like, world history. I know a lot about different countries. Like, I know about Scotland because that's where my family is from. I know about England because that's another part where my family's from. I know about Egypt because I did a huge project about it when I was in elementary school, so I remember a lot of that one. But I don't know a lot about, like, China, Japan, Russia, even Germany, which is funny because I'm mostly German, actually. Mostly German and Norwegian, which I know, like, little to nothing, besides that Germany was in World War I and World War II and was the antagonist. That's literally as much as I got. That's like pathetic. That's all I know. So I definitely was like, I need to become more educated. So that is that one. So this one is definitely controversial. So please, if you have comments, I just would prefer you to keep them to yourself, because it was more of an opening of my eyes, and I want to make sure that I'm informed on both sides. It says the war on cops. So as we know, we're having a very hostile environment in our country right now, and I just wanted to read something about cops, because everybody complains and everybody says it's all the cops' fault, but it's I'm not very political. I'm really not, for many reasons, but part of it is I don't want to hurt people. People get in such political debates and political fights and argue, bite, and backlash, and are just so mean to each other that I'm not political. But I'm like, I want to know what it is from a cop's point of view, what it is from the other side, because you hear all the time about what it's like to deal with cops in the media and in society, and I'm just like, but what about the cops? Like, they're trying to perform a job, and super controversial, I know, but I'm just like, I want to know, for me, to know what it's like to be on that other side, being the one that's putting up and protecting citizens, because that's really what cops are there for. They're protecting everybody, even if it's from yourself. So I definitely wanted to have a better understanding of that. Next, the Federalist Papers. How many people have ever heard of this? Can you raise your hand? Because I certainly was like, it sounds so familiar, but I don't really know. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's in Hamilton, the musical. That's the last time I can remember talk of the Federalist Papers, and I'm like, maybe I should read about that instead of just hearing about it in a musical. And I decided to be like, cool. So Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison. It is mainly written by Alexander Hamilton, as we know, but I'm just like, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out what this is about, why these papers were written, and understand America. And then the last book I got, the last book. Oh, I have two. Sorry. This one is super little. It totally was hiding underneath this big book. Anyway, this one is about Hiroshima. And, I want to know what Hiroshima, it was bombed by atomic bombs. And it's funny because people get super angry, and it's understandable. But I'm like, this ended the war. And there was no more fighting between our countries because of this. And now Japan is one of our allies. So it's just like, what caused it to go from Hiroshima to being one of our allies? Like, that's kind of a crazy concept. Have you ever thought about? And so I was just like, I kind of want to read, see what Hiroshima was about. So, what the culture was like before and after the atomic bomb, because it still was there. So that's what this one is about. The last book, the officially last book, is The Last Crusades. I find myself so witty. Anyway, so the Crusaders. Everybody's heard of the Crusades. They are definitely from British history, where they are fighting against the Muslims in the Middle East. And I just want to know, why the heck were the Crusades fought? And who actually won the Crusades? Who actually lost? Because really, history has been lost, I think. And I just wanted to make sure I have an understanding of it. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please subscribe. If you want any books for me to review or read, just leave comments down below. And y'all have a great day.